Hey guys, it's Studios here, back with another flash vertical velocity update, and this thing is rising so fast, it's gonna be a little tricky to get views of it from over here since we're outside the park, but you can see a lot of the Immelmann has been installed, and all the cranes are up, so I believe they might actually be working on it today as well. So let's see what we can see from this side of the park over here. You can see some track and supports and workers all on the ground over there. And of course, we have the massive Immelmann, which is almost complete now. Big support structure for it as well. So you can see from the locker side over here that the twist out of the Immelmann, of course, has been installed. We saw that from the drone, but there's now a new support up right there. That is going to be where the final, I guess, joint piece is going to be for the Immelmann there. You're going to have it go up there. And of course, there's that head chopper. So there's going to be a head chopper there, and I believe there might be a head chopper over there as well, judging off the way the support structure is. But this is incredibly exciting to see. Here's a bit of a zoomed out view just so you guys can get an idea of just how big this ride is. Of course, you have the spike that hasn't risen quite yet over there. You can see all the catwalks are completely done on that section of launch track, and I imagine the same is the case over here. We'll be able to tell a little better from inside the park, but this is just incredible to see. Great shot over here from by the gates. You can see just a little bit left of the Immelmann before it's completely done. So we can see there's a segment of track sitting right there that is pretty much the final segment of track for the Immelmann. It looks like they might be getting ready to put into place today. They are working today, which is different than last Saturday, but look at this. Cannot wait to see this fully completed. It's gonna be a great photo op right here as the ride comes twisting through the exit of the Immelmann there. So barely able to show you guys through the fence here. You can see that they have that last segment of track. It's actually already attached to the support that's gonna go up there. So that's gonna be right up there. It's gonna kind of cap off the Immelmann right there, but looks like they're adjusting the chains right now and getting ready to lift it. So I think we'll get to see a segment of track placed. And in addition to that, we have these supports right here that are new. They've been installed. There's more catwalks over there. Lots of movement over here, Flash. They're not messing around. They definitely want to get this thing open as soon as possible. They're starting to raise that segment, which will be going right there. We're gonna get to watch it happen. Another really good view. That segment of track slowly but surely getting lifted. So it's a little bit later. You can see they're a little bit higher now at that segment of track. They're just trying to get it nice and level, and they have another crew up there in the crane waiting for the track place to be up there. So gonna wait to see how it all goes. This is pretty rare because you're not often gonna see a segment of track attached to a support like this, but I guess they figured might as well kill two birds with one stone right here. The support and track work over there isn't the only thing going on the site. They got someone, looks like, grading the land out a little bit on this machine right here, but we are still waiting. They've been making some more adjustments to that segment over there. Hopefully we'll see it in the air pretty soon.
Well, this is the coaster spot, and I had to correct the Colin here. They are compacting the dirt. They are not great.
Thank you for the correction. I appreciate it. The views of this ride continue to blow me away. I just can't wait to see as the track comes all the way over here. Really gonna change the way this whole park looks. Well, I almost missed it, but they are currently hoisting that piece into place right now. So you get to watch it from over here, which is cool. But we can see the sight lines over here have completely changed with the addition of the Immelmann. Let's get a little closer. Check this out. Slowly but surely leveling it into place over there. So that is of course going to connect right there. So we're going to have that nice head chopper. Then there's just one more segment of track for the rest of the Immelmann, and then it will be complete. From the construction site here, you can see a ton of trucks from the construction crew. There's a lot of crew just in general on site. All of them watching as this piece gets hoisted into place up there. So now the other bit of the crew there is going up so they can get the track exactly where they want it to be, so it can meet up right there, and of course get the supports there. Like I said earlier, it's very rare that you're going to see a coaster piece installed like this. Not often they're going to have a track and support combo, and getting to see this while the park is open is always really cool. I've seen it for a few rides like Devil, Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood, but seeing it on this one where you have vantage points from all over the place, I mean, you could be at many different places in the park and still see this happening. Really, really cool. See them working on getting the already installed segment of track ready to be connected right there to that new segment of track, slowly hoisting it all together. See it ever so slightly moving closer. Of course, the wind blowing it around a little bit. See, it's a little off over there, so it's got to be adjusted. Definitely a bit of a process. We can see on the other side, there's another crew going up in a crane right there. I believe right there you can see where that support kind of ends off, there is a joint on that piece of track right there, so it is going to finish off. There's just a little bit of a support piece that needs to be in place right there to finish that off, and then they just have the segment of track to place right there. And of course they're working on this right now, moving even closer to getting it properly in place. Probably going to get a different angle so you guys can see the support section of that a little better. Now we're inside the queue for Justice, so you can see making slight adjustments just so they can get it all lined up, and then they'll bolt it all in place. Sounds like they're actually doing that right there first, possibly. I hear something being done. Can't really tell what it is right now. The noise is actually coming from down there. Looks like they might be installing some more bolts, possibly welding maybe. They're definitely doing something, maybe tightening stuff up down there. Meanwhile over here, just about joined together. See, they're working right here, getting it all lined up. Lots going on all at once. I gotta say, I'm really impressed. So it looks like they are currently on top of that support structure down there. Again, not 100% sure what they're doing on that end. Then over here, again, getting closer and closer to getting it all lined up. Everything has to be perfectly in place. You can hear the chains, they're slowly moving it into place. Looks like he is now climbing onto the track over there to get a better adjustment, I guess. He's getting ready to tighten things up, get them all connected. While we're over here, you can also see a better view of where the support still needs to connect to that segment of track right there. That is the entrance into the Immelmann stall. So there's going to be an addition onto those two vertical supports that are parallel right there to connect right there, add some extra bracing. And of course we got all these supports here. And then we go into the double up down there. But what I was able to notice, even from being over here, all the electrical is presumably done. They also have all of the catwalks done for every segment of launch. And I don't think you can see it from over here. No, not really. But those two little supports we saw from closer to Skyscreamer, that is probably for the third launch. If I had to guess, they want to get all the launch pieces done as quick as they possibly can. That way, they can get all the electrical done for them as well. And once vertical construction is done and the entire track segment is complete, then they can probably start testing really soon after that, and then be able to get the ride open not long after that. I mean, of course, as we know, they're probably aiming to have this open for the park's official 50th anniversary date, which is July 1st. So they're definitely working against time right now. They don't have too much time, but they are making progress, which is great to see. Also, I'm also just now realizing that where those supports end down there as well, kind of where that guy is over there, those are probably going to rise up here as well to kind of complete an almost triangular structure and connect up over there. But over here, making more progress, slowly but surely getting everything into place. He is now completely on the track, getting the spines all bolted together so that then they can make the adjustments over there to get the two support pieces also lined up and bolted in. And of course, bolting in right there where the track joins with the supports has definitely saved them a lot of time, where they otherwise would have had to put the track up first, the supports up first, probably would have done the support first, and then have to wedge the track in between. So doing it like this definitely saved them a lot of time, which, hey, time is definitely of the essence now. There's the other crew looking to probably go up to this edge of the support over here. That way they can get that all bolted together as well. As this crew is working over here, he's now on the other side of the track, continuing to tighten all the bolts in place with the spines being connected. I imagine, of course, this is going to wind up straightening out a little bit as he continues to make adjustments, and then they'll all meet together. But always really cool to witness this. You don't always get to see this every day. Getting to see coaster pieces actually put in place, the whole process. There's definitely a lot that goes into it. So people think, oh, they're going slow, they're going this, they're going as fast as they can. They want to make sure that everything is done correctly. Of course, the coma is presumably on site as well to make sure everything goes as it's supposed to with the construction of Flash. That way it can open on time and not have any issues once it does open. Been a few minutes now, still working on getting the adjustments down for that segment over there. You can see they are actually working on tightening that little connection piece that I was talking about before right now. Of course, as I started the clip, they stopped, but they were just tightening that up. So it seems like they're trying to do all three of these connection points all at once to make sure everything fits just right.
Did you hear why I got blocked on my screen because I said something about that? He's wrenching something.
There's the other crew. Looks like they're either coming back down or going back up. There's a lot of crews working simultaneously on this ride. I mean, they're not messing around. Now the crew is kind of switching spots around a little bit. I think they might be trying to loosen that piece so that they can get this piece to fit in a little better. But they moved away from this. There you go. That's the first look at that joint. Pretty much complete, but I think they're gonna have to move some things around a little bit. Looks like they're probably talking to each other right now about how they're gonna approach this, but you can see that not quite lined up yet, so they're probably just gonna have to loosen things up a little bit and reorganize them slightly to make everything fit. So it looks like that crew is coming down now. Not sure what their plan of attack is gonna be now. I think we might maybe go ride a couple things and see if the process has changed. I'm also gonna try to get a look at what segments of track they have over here. It's pretty hard to tell. So it looks like now they've moved over to the vertical Immelmann support over there. Looks like they might be loosening things up there as well. Everything is kind of hoisted together, so they're probably just trying to loosen things up ever so slightly so they can get that to fit in. And of course, they still have that middle segment of track to place as well. So definitely a tricky structure they're dealing with. Just trying to get an idea of what they have at the park right now. You can see some more sections of the catwalk over there, presumably either for the second launch or the third launch. I can't really tell what the track situation or support situation looks like over there, but that's really going to be able to tell us what their plan of attack is for the rest of this coaster once they finish the Immelmann off. So it looks like they did wind up getting it to fit. You can see a little gap. They just have to bolt it into place, but that is done, and that is almost done. They also have other chains and whatnot on that end of the track, so everything is still hoisted together.
Hey, it's Alex again.
What's up, Alex?
Interrupt.
Okay.
Gonna pan to the left a little bit there. Down a little bit. The reason they don't have that support in is right now they want to have the whole structure be flexible, so when they fill in the gap, all that track can easily move, so they can get the gap filled in properly.
Exactly.
So if they put in that cross member there, that would stiffen up the structure. So that makes sense. It's really cool. The order of operations that they do to do this very complicated structure.
It is really cool to watch because they have everything kind of hoisted together. You can see all these straps across the entire structure of the Immelmann there. And we saw just before they had to loosen everything up so that they can get this to fit. If they had everything going a little bit differently and had the structure more rigid like Alex was saying, they'd have a much harder time over here. So I'm curious to see how easy of a time they have with this piece right here that's gonna go in, because they really gotta hope that everything is just right so it fits in perfectly. So I'm not going to stand here and watch the entire process because we've been watching this ride for a very long time, but they're just about done here. I'm going to try to ride a ride that's tall so I can see what the track situation looks like over here on the ground. You can see those supports over there. Those are almost certainly for this section right here that's going to connect right there to that open joint. But once they get that segment of track in and those supports in, that is it for the Immelmann. It will be completely done. And then they can either finish off the spike or keep going on that way. You see construction working all over the place. Keep an eye on the site. So I'm really curious to see what direction they wind up going in next with this project. Again, they could start with the spike and just get the spike all done, or they might go do that third launch first. That way they can get all the electrical done for it and then build around it. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So we came back to our spot from earlier, and you can really see the heart lining in play here for this element. I mean, it basically looks complete. You can barely even tell there's a segment of track missing, but look at that. It looks awesome. It's gonna ride really well. And like I said, we have these little supports right here, presumably for the third launch. So whether they go to the spike next or they come down here and do that launch first, we'll have to wait and see, but can't wait to watch this all come together. Getting ready to leave, but first I'm gonna go back over to Flash because while I was on Toro, I was able to see that the Immelmann is now complete. So let's go take a look at that. Well, would you look at that? The Immelmann is now complete. They just didn't do that last support over there, so they do have to do that. Everything else though, track-wise, is completely done. So that's probably about a third of the ride's track length all in, maybe a little less, but excellent to see this. Wow, look at that. Decided to come back over towards Metropolis here, and there you go. That's what it's gonna look like, other than a little bit of support that needs to be added over there. There it is. That's gonna look phenomenal. Take a look at that. Like I said, pretty much the entire Immelmann is done. We just have that little piece of support back there, and you can still see they have a lot of the straps still connecting these two supports, so they definitely do still have some work, but they're definitely done for the day. You can see the cranes are all done, put down. Can't really tell what the track situation looks like over there. If I had to guess, there's probably no track or supports over there other than the supports we saw over there. That's for that little bit of supports that still needs to be placed over there on the far end of the Immelmann. But I think this was probably my favorite update yet because we got to see so much happen. 2 pieces of track were installed throughout the day. Of course, that segment right there and that segment right there with the support. Really cool to see them hoist everything into place and move around. Before I end out the update, we are gonna go take a look at what this looks like from the entrance, because I imagine this is huge over there by the locker building and the whole entrance plaza. Just got really caught off guard when I looked over here to leave, and there's Flash's Immelmann. All right, so now I'm here on the outside of the park. This is, of course, all stuff we've already seen, but we can see that the LSMs are all wired. All the catwalks are on for all the launch segments, and here's the real change over here. Look at the size of that Immelmann. Let me move back a little bit so you guys can really get a sense of how big it is. Take a look at that. Absolutely spectacular. All right, so over here on the exit, there are those segments of support I was talking about. Other than that, though, there's not really any track sitting over here, but look at that Immelmann. It looks spectacular completed. With all that being said, though, guys, that's going to conclude today's Flash Vertical Velocity update. Probably the best one yet because we got to see so much happen. Immelmann is complete, and the ride is really coming together. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Flash Vertical Velocity updates coming soon to Hollywood Studios. Goodbye, guys.